From all over Minnesota we came, almost 200 strong from all walks of life, of all ages from 18 to almost 80. The first volunteer group of its size from any one state. A community effort that was spearheaded by the programs in Israel office of the Twin Cities of Minneapolis and St. Paul. We were going to Israel to volunteer our services, to work in army camps, kibbutzim, a hospital in a developing city. We came as homemakers, business people, engineers, teachers, students, working people, retired people. Each with different reasons for being in Israel, but all with one common cause, to be of help. Outwardly, we came to help with our hands. Inwardly, we came to give of our hearts, to work with people, to get to know people, to experience our Israeli heritage, to give of ourselves, however needed in whatever way, to Eretz Yisrael, the land of our past and of our future. But first, there was so much to do, to learn and to plan. Background information on Israel and where we were going to be working. And all of this after extensive interviews about our training, our skills, our health, our commitment. Meeting and getting to know one another. We were leaving for Israel with many of us strangers to each other. Little did we realize the friendships that would develop over the next few weeks, which would bond us together in a fellowship of giving, sharing, and caring. And there was even time to sample a taste of Israeli culture before we left, a chance to hear the sounds of Israel. And an opportunity to begin building on our newly found friendships. We were on our way to forge links with Israel in ways we had never thought of before. We were going to work. Sacrifice? Yes, possibly a little, but deep in our hearts, we all knew that any sacrifice, no matter how small, could only bring happiness and joy. Our feelings would pass, our resolves melt, and our opinions change, but what we were going to do would last. There was apprehension and anxiety, which we were careful to hide from everyone, including ourselves. But there were dreams, hopes, expectations, and excitement also. Everyone with their own personal reasons for going on this adventure of help and service. For many, this was their first visit to Israel. But for everyone, there was the wonderment of discovery, a discovery of Israel and of ourselves. And then these dreams became the sudden reality of working on the Army bases. So much was happening simultaneously, becoming familiar with the curious tools of an army. And we became proud of the blue shoulder chevrons, which proclaimed us to be mitnadvim, volunteers. It was physical work. It was fun work. And it was dirty work.
The only thing I regret is it's only 3 weeks long. I wanted to stay longer, but I can't because I have to go back to school.
Working here on a base is a very exciting experience. I would recommend it to everybody, Jewish and non-Jewish.
I love it! I love it! Great. Do it. If you're watching, come and do it. Don't miss it for the world. It's the greatest thing you'll ever do in your life.
But the work was lightened by the warm feeling of knowing that we were doing something to help Israel by providing extra hands at a time when extra hands were called for. And there was that awareness of being needed and wanted, which went even beyond the words of General Davidi, the founder of Sarel.
Volunteers who came here to this country in the last 6.5 years through the program known as Sarel.
To see the Israelis and what they feel about our commitment to Israel. I went into a store in Jerusalem, and just mentioning that we were a part of the Volunteers for Israel program, the man cried. He was so happy, so proud of us. He said, "How could you do that? How could you leave your family? How could you leave your husband?" and so on. And I think for me, to see that feeling, that overwhelming pride.
It was a strange, new, and wonderful world in which we were living. We were using our old skills, honing new skills, learning to do things that we thought were impossible for us to do. We knew that we were touching a source of Israeli survival. Our work was useful and meaningful to us and to Israel. We were even learning a new meaning for home cooking. And we were rapidly becoming comfortable in the Army. The IDF, the Israeli Defense Force, was becoming one of our new friends.
I'm working at the rehabilitation ward, and my job is just to keep them company, and it's really nice. The children's ward is, I'm really glad I was put over there. I mean, they really knew what they were doing.
I like it very much, and I just want to say that the people have turned out to be so warm and so friendly.
For all of us who worked and lived in a hospital, it was the same. Our commitment had been to help Israel, and this was our way. Whatever jobs we were doing, wherever we worked, our presence was appreciated. And there was always the smile. A smile at whatever age is the same the world over. It gilded our experience with a joy that could have no words.
Yesterday at breakfast, Rai was very sad. He saw me and he heard my English and big smile.
But there was also the chance to see Israel, too, while we worked, to savor the Middle Eastern delight of a falafel stand, the wondrous smells and the exotic tastes, and to forget all about our American diets. And on the kibbutzim, too, our hands were welcome. And we welcomed this experience of working alongside Israelis, of knowing that we were contributing to this country, which was rapidly becoming our country in ways we had never known before. Our smiles proved the worth of what we were doing, the worth to Israel and the worth to ourselves.
My name is Zavik Shafrir, and I'm the executive director, mainly responsible for the activities in North America.
Helping to spin the economic wheels which turn Israel was a feeling of genuine accomplishment. Many of us had never thought of a kibbutz as more than a farming community, but here we were being factory workers, shipping, labeling, packing, sorting, but best of all, what we were helping to produce said, "Made in Israel." There was a feeling of fulfillment. Our Israeli education was teaching us things we had never thought of. Of course, there were the products of the farms and the orchards, too. Products which carried the pride of Israel into many other countries, and part of that pride was now our pride and feeling of accomplishment. Knowing that we were not only putting Israeli products on shelves all over the world, but more importantly, knowing that the kibbutz, the backbone of Israel, was being aided by Minnesota volunteers, placed added meaning and worth to our mission. Mornings came early, too, to those of us working in a developing town.
Well, everyone should come to Israel and help. That's all I can say.
We were using some of our special skills. We were working with the children, the future of Israel. We were letting the people of our town know we cared, helping them with tasks for which their everyday lives left precious little time. And there were so many places to use our hands, tasks that brought us joy knowing we were helping others. We planted trees and shrubs so that there would be a memory of us, leaving something of ourselves in Israel. We patched and painted, adding to the beauty of our town. And in the evenings, there were simchas to be shared. Birthdays for seniors, some of whom were new to Israel, still struggling with language. Others who had made their major contributions to the land in years past, and who could now watch their children continue the building of a nation. And in our hearts, because of our hands, we too were becoming a living part of that nation. While we were building with cement and stone, we were also building friendships of love. We were working together, learning about each other in ways that books could never show. We were becoming a part of their community, and they were becoming a part of us. Our purpose and volunteerism was succeeding and bringing us closer to the people of Israel. And the teachers among us were teaching new skills, new ideas. Problems were being shared. Light was beginning to shine on the hopes and visions of Israeli teenagers. The success of our work was being measured more often by the small deeds. The feeling of seeing a job well done, the feeling that perhaps we had contributed just a little to the well-being of a community of people.
This ball, this stuffed ball, she cooks it in a sauce made of vegetables and...
Surely there was no way to measure the warmth of the Israeli hospitality.
Our arms, our hearts are open to you. We cannot find words enough to say thank you and that we love you very much.
There had to be the experience of seeing and knowing the land of Israel itself, the thousands of years of its history. Tours, museums, it was all adding to our adventure.
You see the coastline here is rocky, and then all the north part of the Mediterranean. From here it becomes a natural. We go to school, but they knew how to live much better than we do. So then we close the electricity and we are already in panic. We take away the TVs from seashells, as we see in the next room, or we still can learn a lot of the Asians. And let's bring us to the history and opposite, Jaffa. Because here we have different currents which take different types of sand, which is no good for us.
But there needed to be a time for all of us to come together and share our experiences and emotions. Our cups were brimming over. Our developing town, Givado, invited our 200 to come from all over Israel, from the army bases, from the hospitals and kibbutzim, to join together in happiness, in joy, and loving friendship. And then to partake of an evening with an Israeli family in their home, where strangers became friends. Israelis who had come from Morocco, Iran, Algeria, Yemen, and beyond. Jews sharing their common heritage in an atmosphere of love and warmth with the Americans. Dessert was the music of the community youth orchestra, playing on instruments which had come from the Twin Cities. We were feeling a closeness that had been born from a common purpose of giving, of caring, and of concern. And we planted trees in a new forest, an exhilaration as we put our hands into the red and sandy earth of our spiritual home. With our departure becoming more imminent, we did as all pilgrims do. We went up to Jerusalem. Apart from our volunteer roles were these very special, poignant moments where one's faith and purpose in life could be renewed. All of our emotions, feelings, and experiences were as nothing as we came to Yad Vashem, the memorial to the 6 million. It was bringing into focus what little we had really done, what had happened to all of us. "200 reasons for going to Israel a few short weeks before now became one huge reason, a huge sadness for not wanting to leave. And that sadness was there too at the Kotel, the Western Wall. Another emotional peak as we came face to face with our history as a people, seeing the past with the present imprinted over it. Israeli soldiers praying with tefillin on their left arms and rifles on their right shoulders. Sarel had planned an enormous farewell for volunteers from all over Israel. They were saying thanks to us, and we were desperately needing to say thank you to them for all they had given us. More feelings to add to our emotional suitcases.
And when I ask myself today, what should every Jew in the world do? Then I say he should become a volunteer for himself and for this turn in Jewish destiny.
It was hard to say goodbye. A better word was lehitraot, until the next time. And there will be a next time and a next time, not just for us, but for others that will discover the true meaning of giving, of sharing, of love for one another and for others.
In general terms, beautiful.
It was a sad moment when we were leaving the base, at least for me, because I did participate I was quite involved with a lot of the work that was going on.